At that location, Mr. Rankins opened fire on members of the Fugitive Task Force. During that exchange of gunfire, a member of this department, an 18-year veteran assigned to our fugitive unit, was injured. And thankfully, those injuries are not life-threatening. And I want to thank God for having the hand of protection over our officers today and the phenomenal staff of Grady Hospital for their work in providing medical care, which they continue to do behind us. Fortunately, no other members of law enforcement were injured. At this point, the suspect who we were seeking to take into custody is deceased, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation will be conducting an investigation into this officer-involved shooting. I do want to take time to thank the Sheriff of Henry County, Sheriff Scandridge, who used the helicopter of that department to transport our investigator from the scene of the shooting here to Grady Hospital so medical care could be rendered. And so at this point, our one investigator we believe will make a full recovery. I want to commend him for his bravery today. I want to commend every member of the Atlanta Police Department that reports to duty to keep this city safe. And just thank our partners who you see gathered around us, who has arrived to show support and has been key in this operation today as we sought to take this individual into custody. And U.S. Marshal Brown, I'm going to turn it over to him to give comments at this time.
Thank you, Chief. The U.S. Marshal Service is comprised of a number of officers, in addition as certified U.S. Marshal deputies, but police officers and sheriff deputies from throughout the metropolitan Atlanta area. Atlanta Police Department is a huge contributor to that task force, and we thank them for that. We could not do our job without their assistance as well as the other law enforcement assistance. U.S. Marshals serve some 2,000 warrants a year that normally result in about 200 arrests of individuals for murder per year. This was one of those individuals that we wanted to get off of the street. We were able to do that successfully. We are so glad, and we are continuing to pray for the Atlanta officer that was wounded in this, but we could not do the job that we do had it not been for the dedicated men and women of law enforcement throughout the metropolitan Atlanta area, and it just points to how sensitive and how dangerous this line of work is. So, Chief Shumbo, we can't do it without you. Thank you for being a part of our task force in the state of Atlanta, and turn it back over.
Well, thank you, Marshal Brown. We appreciate you, Sheriff Labatt, the Georgia State Patrol, for the partnerships that we all do in keeping our city safe. Open for any questions that you all may have now at this time.
We've seen so many instances of law enforcement being involved in search warrant cases or whatnot to put their lives actually on the line in this case. Has this impacted how you all handle procedures and protocols now with seemingly a bolder take when it comes to confronting law enforcement?
You know, this is a dangerous job, and I'm so thankful men and women every day say yes to this profession to protect this city, this county, and communities across the region. We have seen 2 members of law enforcement in the past week and a half lose their life, and our prayers continue to go out to Paulding County and to Carroll County. This is what we train for. We recruit men and women who have a quality to stand in the gap for their communities. We train weekly and regularly to make sure when an individual who poses harm to the community doesn't want to go back to jail, that we can do so with the least risk to the citizens of the area, that individual, and law enforcement. That's what we train for. But I'm very thankful for men and women, particularly the Atlanta Police Department, that serve the city, and very thankful that our investigator is going to make a full recovery.
So your protocols and procedures have not changed due to this recent uptick in law enforcement involved?
Our training is always in a state of evolution for perfection and for betterment, and so it does not take one incident. We learn from all incidents, and we're always in a state of improvement.
Was the suspect shot from a self-inflicted wound that was from that?
You know, the investigation will determine that. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation will assume the next phase to determine how this individual's lost his life, and that will be one of the areas we will investigate. Was it self-inflicted?
What do you say to these perpetrators who feel like, you know, they're one against the world, that, you know, they don't really treat you guys with respect even when you show up in numbers like this?
You know, our job is to teach everyone with respect and to make sure justice is done. And for individuals that may think they're going to continue to break the law and place communities at risk, you see a strong coalition of law enforcement that stands behind me and that is present throughout our region. Men and women of integrity who wear the uniform of law enforcement. We're going to take someone into custody, whoever they may be, whoever dangerous they may be, for the sake of our communities.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you all.